Shakil now joins us, perhaps exactly the reaction that the BJP was expecting from the Valley Netas when they continue to speak about Article 370 and Article 35A and its abrogation if voted back into power.
Yes, look, Anand, this is the BJP Sankalp Path, and when we look at the chapter 1, it's a clear indication of how this is the priority for the party. It says nation first, and that's what the BJP wants the focus to be on. That is national security and nationalism, which is the priority for the party as far as this election is concerned. If you look at that special package that you have been talking about, that special paragraph, particularly in the context of Article 370, Anand, it actually says that in the last 5 years, we have made all necessary efforts to ensure peace in Jammu and Kashmir through decisive actions and a firm policy. We are committed to overcome all obstacles that come in the way of development and provide adequate financial resources to all the regions of the state. We reiterate our position since the time of the Janasangh to the abrogation of Article 370. So it's essentially a reiteration of what the BJP has been saying. I think this is what the thrust of this entire 2019 Sankalp Path or promise of the BJP is. That this is a government in continuity. What they promised in 2014, a part of that has been delivered in the last 5 years. The Kashmir policy is also a policy in continuity, and that's what is going to continue if they are voted to power come May 23rd.
But what happens is the question goes back to the BJP that abrogation of Article 370 and 35A was part of its manifesto in 2014, and soon after the 2014 elections they put these two aspects in the back burner when they entered into government with the PDP in Jammu and Kashmir.
Yes, Anand, we have to ask these questions because when you ask that specific question about why was it put on the back burner, look, there was that, agenda of understanding which they had when they actually forged this alliance of great expectations in 2015 with the PDP, and what was seen as a major shift in their policy as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. But of course it did not yield results. But because the Congress party has taken a particular stand as vis-a-vis Article 370 or AFSPA, the BJP is trying to essentially position itself as a party which has a different stand as far as national security and nationalism is concerned. Because national security and nationalism, of course, remains a very, very emotive issue, and they feel that this sentimental issue can have that one push, that thrust that the party is looking for in the run-up to elections, that can emerge as an overarching theme, that can unite various castes under one umbrella, right, and that can give that push that they got in 2014 vis-a-vis that hope and the entire campaign that was built around Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Another aspect that carries forward from 2014 is the Uniform Civil Code, and for both 35A and of course the Uniform Civil Code, they need numbers in both the houses, which they expect and hope that they will have in 2020. Shakil, thank you for your inputs. Let's go straight across to our guest, senior journalist Sheshnarayan Singh, and of course Sanjeev Tiwari with us here, analyst and leans towards the RSS heavily. Sanjeev Tiwari, Sheshnarayan Singh, very senior journalist, and he's also tracked the BJP in the past very closely. We go across to Vinny Goenka of the BJP with us, and Ravi Srivastava, a political analyst, and loves to question the BJP, and he's always got his boxing, his gloves on to take on the BJP. Voice of the opposition, founder, member of the Aam Aadmi Party, doesn't like to speak much about Arvind Kejriwal and his current prior politics right now. And if that, there you go, I can extract a smile of Ravi Srivastava right now. We'll see how it goes on here at Nation at 5. But Sheshnarayan Singh ji, that dream which Shyama Prasad Mukherjee had, to actualize that, they put Article 35A and Article 370 in the back burner, if I may say so. So that they have a government in Jammu and Kashmir. The BJP forms a government in Jammu and Kashmir. Now they have realized the folly of their ways, especially when you bond with the Valley Netas and then they come back. And we saw what had happened, because a large part of their governance was a nightmare in terms of law and order. Do you believe this is going to ring home? Because 35A talks about justice to a lot of people, and we've highlighted here also, Nation at 5 and also on the right stand on CNN News 18, about the injustice that's being meted out to various sections of society in Jammu and Kashmir, including women. Yes?
No, they will, in case, there is 1953, when Shyama Prasad Mukherjee died there, and statesmen carried the banner headline, brought home the warrior dead. When his body reached Calcutta, this is what their headline was. So he was a warrior. He died for this 370. And now, ever since And in 370 they had taken a decision that Kanpur session of the 1952 that will ek nishan ek vidhan. And that is why Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, the president of the then Bharatiya Janasangh, went there, and you know what happened. Ever since 370 has been their article of faith. But whenever they come into government, it so happens that they have to forget 370. Because Atal Bihari Vajpayee was in government and Farooq Abdullah's family was in his government. So it went away. And when Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister, they had to form a government with PDP. And so they put it on back burner. So the use of this putting it on the manifesto is not that they seriously want to remove it from the institute books, but it carries a lot of message to the rest of India that we are going to take the way Indira Gandhi took Sikkim or Goa, Jawaharlal Nehru took Goa. So that is how they want to, Kashmir is integral part of our country, and so they have to regularize that. It's like any other state of the country. And that carries a huge message all across India. So this is one thing. And the other thing, the focus of the campaign, the BJP is trying for the last 5 years to develop women as a separate vote bank. Talaq, women empowerment, toilets for the poor, batti there, because
Ujjwala, gas,
Ujjwala, everything. And here also, it's anti-women. They said in so many words. So this is a good politics, and certainly, as usual, as always, I never believe in any manifesto of any party.
Till the time.
So, like for example, when Narendra Modi came, there was nowhere mentioned that they'll bring out GST. There was no more mentioned that they'll bring out demonetization. Everything happened. There no more mentioned they'll bring out Ujjwala. They did. So they did do whatever is convenient to them and in the national interest, of course. I think they don't do anything for themselves. They do it for the nation. But the manifesto is always a trendsetter, a campaign material, and a talking point. So that is to peg the campaign. That's what I think. This is my understanding.
Well, see, the point is, so Vineet Goenka, when you make promises, when you make a sankalp, then the voter turns around and says, "Jo wada kiya, wo nibhana padega." And when you come into power and thereafter you turn around and say, "Kasme wade, pyar wafa sab baatein hain, baaton ka kya?" See, this is where we get stuck.
Of course, if you see whatever promises Bharatiya Janata Party has done in 2014, maximum of them have been met. I think it was the first 5 years of governance in the independent India where promises were met with. Else how we would have built more than 9.2 crore toilets. In the case of 350, 35A or 370, if you see all the required infrastructure, all the required mood and the required paperwork has to be done, which was there. 2, we also have to see what is the security situation there in the valley. Number 3, what is the country's position? We didn't have numbers in Rajya Sabha, and I think by 2020 we have the numbers in Rajya Sabha also. So our commitment is there. 35A and 370, both of them go out the moment we come back in the power, because in 2020 we have our numbers in Rajya Sabha also. So there is no point introducing such a serious constitutional change in the Lok Sabha when you don't have Rajya Sabha backing. I think that was wise by the government then to wait. पर हमने जितने भी वायदे किए, आनंद जी, हमने सारे वायदों को पूरा किया। हमारी बहनें पहले जो थी वो सड़कों पे और अंधेरे का इंतजार करती थी, बहुत शर्म आती थी। देश के अंदर केवल 38% लोगों के पास जो था टॉयलेट से। We had only 38% coverage of the toilets. Now we have 92% coverage. Isn't this a big achievement? That promise was done by the Prime Minister. He's fulfilled it. See the other promise which has been fulfilled. My mothers, my aunts, my seniors, they used to cook food on wooden, what you say, चूल्हे पे जला के लकड़ी के चूल्हे पे करते थे. Here now we see 8.2 crore connections been given, cylinders been delivered. If each house has 4 or 5 members, 30 crore people have now benefited with the LPG.
Yeah, sir, the argument there is, although, yes, आपने वहाँ connection दिया है. Yes, you have reached out one cylinder, but the refill is not. But the refill is not accessible. So after that, one cylinder gets over within about.
Very good point. Very good point.
There is no refill that happens.
Very good point.
So that is the next part of the promise. What you've already reached is one aspect.
No. So let me tell you, this I hear this whenever I hear this from Congress is that एक cylinder गया दूसरा नहीं गया. Yes, there is true that not everybody has got the second cylinder, but also come out with the number who has not got the second cylinder and how many of them have got 20th cylinder. That number also has to come out, and that number if you see, then we'll feel pride that at least the first attempt to reach the sister, mother or aunt was done. That we have delivered the first cylinder.
I am a person from the oil industry.
Okay. But we are not talking Ujjwala right now. We are not talking about the gas cylinder.
Sir, we took 5 years to do that. Congress never did that in 55 years. You take your half an hour. I have no problem, sir. But the lady who has got the gas in her house, will give us 5 years.
The interesting part, as I bring in...
That scheme is a farce.
Sir, we'll keep the Ujjwala discussion later. But one point is 8.5 crore households have been touched and at least one cylinder has gone, and you've moved from...
You've moved from,
and there is an infrastructure so you can better it. But what stands out for me in this manifesto, Sanjeev Tiwari, before I bring in Ravi Srivastava, is Rashtravad. It's not Ram Mandir. It's Rashtra. It's about Desh.
Anand, can I take 1 minute before you go to the honorable next member?
Okay. Okay. If you yield, we need the 15 seconds. 15 seconds, and I'll count you down to it. Yes, go ahead, please.
So in Kashmir, if you see, the position has changed. The new normal is we have the operation theatre, the theatre of operation on the western side of the LOC. We have penetrated the devil's den. We have delivered disappropriate devastation. The narrative has changed. We have never done this before in India.
I'm not even going to the... I know you are an expert. You are an expert in kinetic warfare. I'm not getting into that right now. I'm talking about what's happening in our own half. Even though a lot of what they are squatting on is also our land. But I'm just saying the land that we are currently in control of and which is ours, I'm questioning that because Sanjeev Tiwari, if on the first page is Desh and Rashtravad, neither Mehbooba Mufti, nor Farooq Abdullah, nor anybody has turned around and responded to these words of Zakir Musa, which hurt me, sir, when he said that Kashmir is for Khilafat and Kashmir will be caliphate. He called for the people of Kashmir to reject the elections and boycott the election and the democratic process. Nobody turned around and asked him, how dare he say that sitting on my soil, on our soil. Nobody has turned around and said, nobody has said that in the next 48 hours we're going to shoot this joker down and we don't want jokers like this on our soil. Nobody has said that.
And that is the issue.
So where is Rashtravad?
Rashtravad is
where is national security?
Because if you will see the manifesto of the BJP itself, the first word is the nation first. It talks about 3-4 different things. First is the nationalism. The second is the Antyodaya, which was the vision of Deen Dayal Upadhyay. When the last
they spoke about Antyodaya even in 2014.
That is why they have delivered it. You see the houses which are delivered, 1.5 crore houses to the poor, 10 crore houses to the toilets to the poor. We are not
let me ask you this.
Don't you want this?
If this government says that they have Rajya Sabha numbers in 2020 and if they want Lok Sabha numbers, why don't they put a date and time that by this date, this month, this year, in 2020, we will abrogate 35A?
Very good question. Anand, I think that in the independent India, this is the first manifesto by any political party where the deadline has been given to deliver 75 different projects or the programs.
Is 35A part of that?
75.
Is 35 abrogation of 35 part of it?
It cannot be. See, the 35A article is very much in the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court is going to deliberate it. Although it's a political issue, but at the same time, if we'll go the legality and check the legality of 35A, it cannot stand the scrutiny of the law. This is the fact and this is the reality.
No, that's a different argument. I'm talking about the BJP Sankalp Patra. No, I'm not asking for the Supreme Court Sankalp Patra. But what is there in the matter is sub judice.
They have committed for 3 things. Number 1, abrogation of Article 370. the removal of Article 35A. That they have been doing it since 1952 because it's their commitment. And third is building a Ram temple in Ayodhya.
Sir,
that is another issue. This is only political party which has clearly declared that it's in favor of Ram temple.
With due respect, if they could even take a sankalp that we will not have tariq pe tariq on important matters that matter to this country.
That is not in their hand.
Number one. Number two, there is some steel that's being
number
shown.
Number two,
sir.
they are talking about the...
Sir, I'm just saying, if Rashtra Desh is number one, why is somebody like a Zakir Musa allowed to come out and open a threat, and nobody is even questioning Mehbooba Mufti and Farooq Abdullah for keeping mum on somebody like that? I'm saying, which political party has opened their mouth and said anything like that? Ravi Srivastava, do you have a few questions to ask? I'm just going to take 30 seconds, sir. I have to take a break. But I have not come to you yet, that's why. Yeah.
Absolutely, Anand. Whatever this government has done in Kashmir has only vitiated the situation. Maximum number of civilians have been killed, maximum number of army men have been killed, maximum number of damage has been happened over there. Now
when the Kashmiri Pandits they were killed there.
Are far.
Let him speak.
These toilets do not have the water nor the doors. The Ujjwala scheme, I can speak for half an hour.
I know.
It's a big part and you are only fooling the people.
Okay.
Now I come to this 35A and 370. 35 and 370 both, if BJP talks anything, it's a contempt of the Supreme Court. Because the matter is resting there. They cannot make a comment. But the point is, if you
they cannot put in their manifesto. If the matter is there in the Supreme Court, the BJP cannot take hold of those. The BJP cannot keep it in their manifesto.
You back off.
No. See, Ram Mandir is also a Supreme Court, so they put it in the manifesto. So if they can, they can. Now I have to take a short break. We continue to talk about the various aspects of the manifesto of the BJP. We are having a live tracker of the sentiment. About 66,700 people have voted on the Neta app. 55%, close to 55% believe the BJP's manifesto has more weight than the Congress manifesto. We take a very, very short break.